Okay, moving on to page 172. We're still dealing with lesson 3. We're going to analyze and describe using expressions, it looks like. And I want to just read some notes out of my book here. It says to explain to you that analyzing an expression means grouping it into parts so you can evaluate it or simplify it correctly. So you're kind of checking it if you're analyzing it. So let's also review what a term is. That's going to be really important when we get down further here on the page onto step 4. So a term is a chunk that's added together or subtracted. So whenever you're adding or subtracting kind of the chunks of an expression, those are the terms. And they can involve more than just one number or letter. So we're going to practice that using this diagram method. So I'll just read this to you and we'll just practice. So remember, the order of operations is perform operations in the parentheses. So that's our P. Simplify powers, or the exponents, right? So there's your PE. Multiply and divide. So M or D, they're both equally important. Whichever comes first. First come, first serve, from left to right. Either one. Same thing with adding or subtracting. So there's your PEMDAS. So to analyze an expression, we follow the order of operations and circle parts of the expression at each step. So we're just going to add the idea of circling the steps that we perform because it helps you see where the chunks are and that you have to solve those. So here's what we're analyzing right here. 7 times the result of a minus 5 minus a raised to the power of 2. So you look at the parts of the expression inside the parentheses and you circle them. The demonstration in the book uses a different color for each circle so you can really think about it. So the parentheses part was a minus 5. So they used red and they circled a minus 5. All right, then you look for the powers and you circle them. So we're going to end up with like a circle diagram when we're done, okay? We're not worrying about the answer here. We're not solving it or evaluating it right now. So you circle, so they chose to circle the exponent, the powers in green. So that was our first operation. That's our second one. Okay, then we look for multiplication and division as they appear from left to right. So the first problem we get to is multiplication. Now they used blue and they actually circled the entire left side of that subtraction sign because 7 has to be multiplied times the result of a minus 5. But this is together, this is one chunk of the problem. All right, step 4, remember we talked about terms. You're going to look for addition and subtraction as they appear from left to right. Recall that parts of an expression that are added or subtracted are terms. So parts of an expression, the chunks. Circle any terms that are not already circled. That would be the last thing we do. Well, we're going to have 2 terms. We've already circled a minus 5 because that was the part in parentheses, so that was already done. So we end up with no more to circle, but you can see we have 2 big sections here. So let's move down the page. Okay, here it says, once you've analyzed an expression, you can make a simple diagram to show its structure. The diagram for an expression shows the terms. So a diagram with these circles will show you the terms and indicates whether each term is a number, a variable, a product, a quotient, or a power. So here's a diagram for set the original expression, 7 times the result of a minus 5. Okay, and that had been circled. First we circled the subtraction in the parentheses. Then we circled around both of those because that became our next step where we multiplied. Then the answer to multiplication is the product. So when it's saying that when you make this diagram, it kind of shows you what's what. And that's going to be subtracting or minusing, right? Your power. So here we had whatever the A is going to be, the value. What we really want to focus on is that you have a product minus a power, and this is actually two terms. The diagram shows that the expression has two terms, and that one term is a product and the other is a power. Okay.